And welcome back. I am Tara Swiger, and this, I think, is going to be a reading vlog for the reading rush. First, I'm going to tell you the books that are on my TBR. I'm going to give you a little bit of update, and then the vlog will follow my life this week, which is a very big, very weird week. So to start with, if you missed my announcement on Facebook and Instagram, then you might not know that my son was born on July 6th, 2020. Judah was 5 pounds 3 ounces. He's gaining back his birth weight right now, and he was, yes, a complete and total surprise. We were asked to be his adoptive parents on June 27th, and he was due August 13th, but he came July 6th. I was actually across the country visiting my brand new nephew, who also came 6 weeks early. So I flew home the next day. Jay was able to meet him as soon as he was wheeled out of the birthing suite into the NICU and hold him the next day in the NICU while I flew home. And then we have been in the neonatal intensive care unit every day since then. As I record this intro, it is Sunday, July 19th, so he's 13 days old. We have almost 2 weeks of being in the NICU with him. I'm home right now, obviously. It's Sunday, so Jay is spending the morning there with him, and then I'll go in the afternoon. We'll all hang out together for a couple hours. Our daily schedule on weekdays, so that's what you'll see during this vlog, is that I get up first thing, get coffee, go right to the NICU, spend all day with him. Jay comes when he gets off work, and we go home at anywhere from 8:30 to 10:30 or 11, depending on what's going on. If he's getting a bath, how long his feeding takes, if the nurse comes in and talks to us or not. I like to wait until see the night nurse. They change shifts at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and so I like to be there when the nurse comes on in the morning and talk to the night nurse before we go. That's our life. Everybody, when I say he's in the NICU, they get very concerned. It's only because he's a preemie. He's perfectly healthy and he's right where he should be developmentally. His gestational age, well, I guess now it's 36 weeks. So he's doing what a 36-week-old baby learns to do, which is how to suck, swallow, and breathe. Those are his goals right now, is to do those in order. So he's learning to take more and more of his food via bottle instead of he has a little nose feeding tube. And once he's able to take all of his necessary food via bottle and not the nose feeding tube, he will come off the nose feeding tube and he'll come home. And he is just increasing that every day. So he is about 70% as of yesterday. So it may be as early as Monday or Tuesday that they tell us he can come home. So during this week, which is the reading rush, which is a week that all of BookTube tries to spend as much time possible as reading, during this week, I might have a brand newborn in my house for the first time ever. So for those of you who are new here, I have been a foster parent for the last 1.5 years, and so I am not new to parenting, but I am new to a newborn. And I don't have biological children, so this is my first forever with me baby. I get to go through all the stages with them. I am so excited. We are beyond excitement. I'll do a whole video about this part of the process. I'll link below to all my foster care videos about that part of the process. This adoption is entirely outside of foster care. The birth mom asked me. It was entirely private, direct adoption, which means she didn't go through an agency or an attorney. She came right to me. So we'll talk about that later. However, that's what's going on this week. You might be wondering why I would choose to do a reading vlog during this very, perhaps chaotic week I have coming up. And the reason is because I think it'll be really cool to vlog a couple of the days of what it's like in the ICU, and also the first few days of him being home. Also, I've been reading a lot, being in the NICU with a teeny tiny baby leaves lots of time for just laying in the recliner holding him. So we do have our own little room in the NICU. So we have our own recliner and our own bathroom and a chair that turns into a bed, which is extremely uncomfortable. It's more like a very cheap college futon, and a TV. And I have listened to audiobooks, and that's actually one of the things I'm going to talk about. So I've gotten reading done in the last 2 weeks, strangely enough. I would not have expected it myself. Let's talk about what's on my TBR, and the reason I actually think I will get reading done this week. There are some challenges for the reading rush. You can go to readingrush.com to see those challenges. I'm only kind of using them to help me shape of all the many books I could read, which ones am I going to focus on reading. Today's Sunday, so I'll start vlogging tomorrow. We'll see if I'm able to kind of set up a filming spot in our NICU room that still gives privacy to the people who are coming in and out of the room. And we'll see how it goes. Good morning and happy Monday. It is the first day of the reading rush. I realized yesterday I didn't really explain. The reading rush is like a week. This is like a website. It's like a week where you just read as much as you can. It's July 20th through the 26th, so Monday through next Sunday. I just got out of the shower this morning. I got a really quick shower and I hopped in the car. I'm in the Starbucks parking lot now, and I'm gonna grab my coffee. I'm gonna drop off this cardboard and then I'm gonna go to the NICU. Told my little guy. It's looking really good for him to go home this week. Like, could even be today. We'll just have to see what the doctor says when she comes in, which is so exciting. Let's see, I'm gonna be listening to the #1 Ladies Detective Agency as soon as I'm done listening to this podcast. Right now I'm listening to the podcast It's Been a Minute with Sam Sanders, and I'm gonna drink my coffee as I go to the recycling center. It's been like around my house for a week, and then yesterday I was like, the baby's coming home. I need to get this out of the house. So I'm gonna go do that before I go to the hospital. It's around 7:30 right now. Good morning. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Hello. So the doctor came in and told me that we'd be going home today. We would have to do a test of the car seat and a couple other things, and I'd have to fill out paperwork, and I ran home and got Jay so that we could take him home together. And that was basically it. I gave him this bottle, and then the wheels of releasing us started going, and I didn't vlog any more that day. But we went home. Hey, it's Tuesday, the 21st, and yesterday I got some reading in the baby's room in the morning before they came in to tell us that he was going home. So there was still a lot of like waiting. They had to do a car seat test. He's actually in his car seat right now. And that took a while. So while I waited, I listened to a bit of the #1 Ladies Detective Agency. I was really kind of surprised. It's not, I expected it to be more like a cozy mystery, like there to be one mystery that she solves, but really it's more like a series of stories about her life. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep reading it. I love the narrator of the audiobook, but now that we're home, it's been a little bit easier for me to actually pick up a book, and I've gotten a good amount of The Guest List by Lucy Foley read. So I'm just gonna leave the Ladies #1 Detective Agency for a minute. I might come back to it later in the week. I'm in line at Starbucks, by the way, before his doctor's appointment. The Guest List has been awesome. It's nothing's the thing that's supposed to happen hasn't happened yet, but you're meeting everybody and you're getting a sense of the location, which is, it's this Irish island off the coast of Ireland that's very rocky, with these like birds that crackle, and it's very atmospheric, and I'm enjoying the atmosphere. And then there's also like a group of groomsmen, because they're all there for a wedding, that are public school boys, which I guess are like, here in the States would actually be like private school boys, like people have money, and they are kind of like this little fraternity of like ickiness, but you don't know yet what it kind of is about them that makes everybody feel so on edge, and like they're kind of wild and might do anything. And so it's so atmospheric. It actually kind of reminds me of a Riley Sager novel, or and just it's like creepy vibe, but nothing's a bad thing hasn't happened yet. And I think I'm on page about 130. I didn't bring it with me to the doctor because I'll have to schlep in the baby car seat, and I have a book on my phone that I've been reading. I got an arc of Molly Weisenberg's The Fixed Stars. It's a memoir. It is so good. I'm gonna read that. If we have a long wait at the doctor, just read it on my phone. And I read the guest list this morning, but I wasn't able to like vlog it. Good morning. It's Thursday morning and I'm sitting outside reading. I just fed the baby and he's sleeping, and now I am reading the last 50 pages of the guest list. I didn't really check in yesterday, but I think I recorded a little. I read a little yesterday morning on the porch while I drink my coffee. Not a little, a lot, probably like 50 to 100 pages. And then I had to go in. It was time that I was supposed to spend cleaning up because my mom came over yesterday to meet her grandson for the first time ever. And she hung out all day from around noon to 6 and just holding a baby basically all day while we talked. And so I had to clean a little bit up yesterday morning, and then she was here all day. And then when she left, Jay met up with his friends for his normal Wednesday night, and I laid on the couch with the baby and read on my Kindle The Fixed Stars, which is a memoir. I think I mentioned it yesterday. I'll tell you more about it when I finish it. It is so good. Okay, I just finished the guest list and it is so good. It is kind of a what happened one night on this, the night of a wedding on this very remote island where this very fancy, expensive wedding is happening. You're not quite sure what happened, and then you learn a crime has been committed, and then you learn the people who have committed the crime kind of right at the end, and it's so satisfying. And it's satisfying in part because the book isn't just like a murder mystery, like a locked room mystery. It is also a book about privilege. I don't want to say anymore because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's so satisfying. It's a lot about white male privilege. It's a lot about how some people get away with things and what that does to the lives around them, and the twists are so good. They all come at the end. Oh, not all of them at the very end. I guess there's a couple twists about 3/4 of the way through, but then the last several pages are just like bam, bam, bam. I loved it. So happy I read it. This is Lucy Foley's The Guest List. Now I'm gonna go in and pick up my house because a social worker is coming. I know, I thought I was done with them too, at least for a while. They have to do we have to have 2 more house visits before the adoption's finalized. And so the one we're having today I wasn't expecting, so I need to clean up a little and get kind of everything ready for a whole walkthrough, because I cleaned up yesterday my house for my mom to visit, but then the social worker will also have to go in our bedroom, and our bedroom is where we've just been putting everything we don't like, that we got that we don't have a place for. So y'all have been, I was gonna say friends and family, that includes a lot of you guys, have been so generous with our wedding registry. Our church started a meal train for people to buy us gift certificates to, like, for dinners and stuff, and so many things have been purchased off our registry, and friends have sent things like hand-me-downs from like diapers they haven't used, to adorable clothes, to a huge amazing stroller. Y'all have been so amazingly generous. If you want to welcome the new baby into our lives, I'll link the baby registry down below, because I get so many messages about it. I just want to, like, take a minute to say thank you, but that means our room has a bunch of just stuff in it that needs to be, like, arranged, because the social worker will want to look in there too. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm in the car at the library. Jay's home with a kiddo, and look at the view. I love the view at the library. I'm doing curbside pickup. They're gonna come out, bring my books. I have so many books that I've requested that I put on hold because I was gonna be out of town. So I recently, hold on, they're coming. Okay, I totally should have let it keep recording, because the librarian who brought it out to my car said that one of the books she recognized because she just read about it in the New York Book Review. I love when my book choices are approved by librarians. So I had all these books on hold like since during quarantine. So all these books came in. So the good thing is I finished the guest list this morning, which is just a book I owned from Book of the Month. And I've nearly finished the arc, the memoir. I think I'm like 85% through. So now I'm gonna go choose my reading from my library books. And again, like, isn't it pretty? Okay, so I'm gonna go head home and choose my next book from my library books. Looking at my library books, I just got them out of the bag. I am wearing the baby. So let's look at what I got at the library. So first up, I put this book on hold as soon as we found out that he was likely coming home. Super looking forward to it. Also, this book has been on my list forever. It is kind of a social science book about parenting and the data behind parenting, and it's about relaxed parenting, which is the only kind of book I like to read. So next up, we've got this book actually came up when people were asking me for recommendations about books by Black authors, and this is one that in my research kept coming up. It's by Kelly Garrett. It's called Hollywood Homicide. It's a cozy novel in the sense that the person who is investigating the crime, probably murder, homicide, is not a professional. She's actually an actress. Written by a Black woman, and it's the main star is a Black woman. What's that? Main character is a Black woman, and the author herself actually worked in Hollywood. So Kelly Garrett, the author, worked in Hollywood for 8 years, including writing for Cold Case. So I'm super looking forward to reading this book. I think it's going to be absolutely great. I also read a couple interviews in which Kelly Garrett talked about writing, being a Black author of mystery books, and how that there aren't very many cozies that were a comp for this, meaning a comparable title. So it's hard to get it published. So I got to support it. Super excited to read it. Bo says hello. Now, this next book is another book that came up when I was looking for Black authors of mysteries. Rachel Housel Hall has written tons of mysteries. She has a series following a detective, and then this is a standalone called They All Fall Down. And this is like a kind of locked room mystery, like an Agatha Christie kind of thing. So I'm super looking forward to this. I think it's going to be the same type of mystery as The Guest List was, and I just finished that. Do you hear the baby? So I'm super looking forward to They All Fall Down. I think this is actually what I'm going to read next. And then the next books by Sarah Gailey came in. Now you might remember I read Magic for Liars and I loved it. So I am looking forward to When We Were Magic. I'm not sure if it's entirely YA. But it's about a girl group who doesn't know their magic and what it does. And I think someone might die because of it. Then I got Hamnet, which is by Maggie O'Farrell. This book was in the shortlist for the Women's Fiction Prize. It's about the son of Shakespeare, whose name was Hamnet. And it's about the plague, which I find hilarious because I requested this before our current plague started. And the librarian, as she brought out my stack of books, this book was on top, and she was like, oh my gosh, I just read about that in the New York Book Review. I think you're the first person to get it, because it came out in England last year, and that's when I requested it, but it's just out here. I'm looking forward to reading this historical fiction. Probably not going to read it first because of, focus issues. And then we got a new barbecue. So we got 2 vegan barbecue books. We've already made several things out of this, which is completely delicious. Then we also have Grill Vegan Style. We haven't made anything out of that yet. It's one of the things I love about the library is that you can get cookbooks, figure out if they're right for you, if the recipes are good and easy to follow, and then, grilled watermelon. Before you actually buy the book. And so we've actually done a lot of checking it out from the library and then going and purchasing it if we find ourselves making it over and over. So very much looking forward to those grilling books. So I think from all the books from the library, I'm going to start with They All Fall Down because I'm in a thrillery mood, and probably also Crib Sheet. I tend to read a nonfiction book in the morning with my coffee, and then a novel at the rest of the day or in the evening before bed, because if I read nonfiction before bed, I fall asleep too soon. And if I read fiction in the morning with my cup of coffee, what happens is that I don't ever put it down, and I don't start the day properly. So by reading nonfiction a chapter at a time in the morning, it's it paces me to still do things with my day. Now that we have the baby, I'm less concerned with getting things done each day, but yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to that. So these are my next 2 books. So when I said the dog jumped up behind me, this is what I mean. Yeah, it's okay, Ray. I wasn't sitting here. Do you just want to be in the video? Hey, so it is Sunday evening. I only have a little bit of light left with which to update you on the reading rush. I didn't vlog it all this weekend, which always happens when Jay's off because we're just doing stuff together, or in this case, not doing anything but taking care of the baby. And yeah, so I finished both the books I started at the beginning of the week, and I got started on They All Fall Down by Rachel Housewell Hall, and I love it. It is so good. So it is now Tuesday. I'm finally finishing my reading rush vlog. I just want to do a quick update to kind of round it all out because I realized I never really did that. So for starters, baby came home from the hospital on Monday afternoon. So we have now survived 1 full week home together. Do I look more tired? I am more tired. I have slept less. He's doing really well. We just had his second checkup. He went to the doctor on, he came home on Monday. He had a doctor's appointment Tuesday, and then he went back again this Tuesday, and he has gained 10 ounces in the last week. So he's very healthy. He's all healed up, and he's doing really well. So I thought you guys might want that update first. Second, let's talk about what I read. First, I read and completely loved The Guest List by Lucy Foley. So this is a thriller set on an island off the coast of Ireland, and something happens, but you're not sure what it is until the very end, and then you also find out who did it, and everybody has a reason to do it, and finding out those reasons they have make the story so good. It's about male privilege, it's about lying, it's about charm. It's real good. So the second book that I read and finished was The Fixed Stars by Molly Weisenberg, which is a memoir of kind of her 30s and how she became attracted to someone outside of her marriage and therefore changed her whole marriage and her whole life. And so much of this book was written beautifully, and I love Molly's writing from her blog days on Unjet. But the part of this book that didn't work felt like it was still like unworked out therapy. Like before she wrote the book, she didn't have a handle on how she feels about it. And so there are sections of the book where she just keeps going over and over and kind of around and around these, really figuring out who she is and what it means, because she had ideas of character fixedness, and it ends up that it is much more fluid than she previously believed, and that she truly changed. She didn't just she wasn't like hiding who she was before. It's different now, and that just went on for a while. So I loved maybe the first half or 3/4 of this, and then it was like, okay, we get it, okay. And so it just wasn't almost finished. Like it just needed to be edited. A couple of the chapters needed to be edited. So that's The Fixed Stars by Molly Weisenberg. It actually comes out August 4th, 2020. I read a review copy thanks to NetGalley and the publisher. Now the next book that I started and finished is They All Fall Down by Rachel Housel Hall. Oh my gosh, this was really fun. So this was another thriller. It is a lot like Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. It's kind of like a retelling of that. I'm not familiar enough with that one to comment on how it is retelling, but this was crazy good fun. You are following a Black LA woman who has just suffered some problem with her daughter and her ex-husband and her daughter's like dance troupe, and you're not quite sure what's going on there, but she gets invited to a very remote island in Mexico where her and like 6 other people are going to, she thinks, be competing in a reality show. In fact, there's something else afoot. And you figure out what that is. Well, you don't quite figure out what that is till the very end, but she gets set straight and is given a different reason just a couple chapters in, and her story of what happened before she came on the trip unfolds as what's going on the island unfolds, and it was just very good. I really, really enjoyed it. I found Rachel Housel Hall because I was looking up Black mystery and thriller writers. She serves on the board of the Mystery and Crime Writers of America organization. She's on their board. So she has a series of detective novels, which I'm going to pick up next. Well, as soon as it comes in from my library. And then the last book I started, and I haven't finished it yet, is Crib Sheet. This came in at my library, as you saw from my library haul, by Emily Oster. This is all about the data behind newborns. So rooming in at the hospital, swaddling, what is the science behind these things with newborns, and are the studies any good? She talks a lot about knowing a good study and what makes good data, and figuring out then how to make decisions based on the data plus your own preferences and your own life and your own abilities. So I'm super enjoying it. I think I'm about 100 pages in, and it's good so far. It's very interesting. And there is a chapter about your postpartum body and choices, which of course I have a newborn, but I'm not postpartum, so I just skipped that chapter. But it is everything I've read so far. I very much enjoy. I'm looking forward to finishing this. One more book I started and I didn't finish is the audiobook of Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I am really enjoying that. It's due back at the library. I got it through the Libby app. And so they automatically return it to themselves. They remove it from your app when the due date comes, and it's due in 2 days. So I'm going to finish it in the next 2 days. It is so good. The narration is both by the author and by another woman because it's told in 2 different perspectives. And so far, it's awesome. It's written just like the Poet X, which I have over here, in kind of poetry and like spoken word poetry. And so listening to it is really beautiful, and it's what I've been doing while I wash bottles. So those are the 5 books that I started to read, the 3 books that I finished in the last week. I thought with a newborn at home I would be reading less, but I think I'm right about my normal pace, maybe a little under it, but it helped that I switched to audiobooks because I have way more time to listen to them while I'm feeding them, while I'm cleaning bottles. stuff like that while he's napping. And yeah, I mean, it helps. I want to be clear. I'm not doing anything else. I'm only taking care of the baby, taking him to the doctor, having my mom visit. That's it. I'm not like accomplishing anything else in my life except for taking care of the baby right now. So I just want to be really clear. It's not that I'm also working a full-time job and able to read this much. I mean, hopefully you could see from my vlog, I basically vlogged any time I got anything accomplished. So if you're thinking, well, there's not a lot there, it's because I didn't get a lot done because I'm home with a newborn. So I hope you've had a beautiful week. I hope you enjoyed seeing this look into our first week home and the reading I did. I can't wait to hear what you think of these books. Let me know below and have a great week.